my channel Net Physics, and if you're watching this channel for the very first time, then I would request you to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, do not forget to hit the bell icon. So in this video we will discuss the CSIR Net questions of June 2011 of electromagnetic theory. So the first question is, the electrostatic potential Vxy in free space in a region where the charge density ρ is equals to 0 is given by V as a function of x and y equals to 4e to the power 2x plus fx minus 3y square. This is the potential in free space and the charge density ρ is equals to 0. Also it is given that the x component of the electric field and the potential is 0 at the origin, and we have to find the function fx. So here these are the four options, right? And we have to find the value of fx. So first we will write what is given to us. It is given potential is equals to 4e to the power 2x plus fx minus 3y square. Also the electric field and the potential, okay, the x component of the electric field and the potential at the origin, it is equals to 0. Charge density is also equals to 0. So when charge density is equals to 0, we use the Laplace equation del square V equals to 0, or you can write Poisson's equation del square V minus rho by epsilon naught. Rho is equals to 0, so del square V is equals to 0. Now we will find the x component of electric field. So E is equals to minus del V, and Ex is equals to what? Minus del V del x. So potential V is equals to this one. So if you differentiate with respect to x, okay, in this term only this 4e to the power 2x and plus fx, these two terms will be only differentiated. This term will be equals to 0 since it is a constant here. Finally, on differentiation, we will get minus sign is as it is. 4 is a constant. E to the power 2x on differentiation will give us e to the power 2x into it 2 plus f prime x. Right? Again, this will be what? Minus 4 2s are 8 e to the power 2x plus f prime x. This is the x component of electric field. Now we will see the x component of electric field at the origin equals to 0. That means we will put x and y equals to 0. Since there is no term containing y here, because we are taking the x component, we will put the value of x 0 here, which will give us 8 e to the power 2 into it 0 plus f prime 0 is equals to 0. From this we will get the value of f prime 0 equals to minus 8. Right? Now we will find the potential V, okay, at the origin. V is equals to what? 4 e to the power 2 into with 0, as it was 2x plus f0 minus 3 into with 0 square because it was y square. Right? Finally we will have 4 plus f of 0 is equals to 0. That means f of 0 is equals to minus 4. We got the value of f prime 0 and f of 0, which we will use later on. Now we will see del square V. Okay, first we will find del square V will be equals to what? Del square V del x square plus del square V del y square. First we will find del x square, then we will go for del y square. So here del x of 1 del x I have kept outside. I will differentiate first once, okay. We will differentiate twice. So one is outside, one is inside differentiation. Here also if you see del x we have to do. So in the potential term, the term which is containing y will be constant because in this there is no x term. And on differentiation this term we will have 4 e to the power 2x into with 2 plus f prime x, which means 8 e to the power 2x plus f prime x. Differentiating again, what we will have? 8 is as it is, e to the power 2x on differentiation will give us e to the power 2x into it 2 plus f double prime x. So 2 8s are 16 e to the power 2x plus f double prime x. This is del square v del x square. Now we will find del square v del y square. If you see this is v, these are the terms which is having x. So this is constant, only this will give us del square v del y square. First on differentiating this minus 3y square, we will have minus 6y, right? Again on differentiating this minus 6y with respect to y, we will have minus 6. So this is del square v del y square, right? Now what we will do, we will write del square v. It is equals to 16 e to the power 2x plus f double prime x minus 6 equals to 0. That is del square v del x square plus del square v del y square. Now we will find what is f prime x, and from that we will get fx. So first we are getting here f double prime x is equals to 6 minus 16 e to the power 2x. Integrating both sides, we will have f prime x is equals to integration of 6 minus 16 e to the power 2x dx plus c1 is a constant of integration. And this term on integration will give us 6 is constant, it will stay outside. Integration of dx is x minus 16 is constant, it will be outside. E to the power 2x on integration will give us e to the power 2x by 2 plus c1. So 2 8s are 16, and finally f prime x is equals to, that means df dx is equals to 6x minus 8 e to the power 2x plus c1. Again integrating both sides. What we will have? Integration of 6x minus 8 e to the power 2x dx plus c2. It will give us 6 is constant. Integration of x is x square by 2, right? Minus 8 is constant. Integration of e to the power 2x is e to the power 2x by 2 plus 6. 2 is a constant of integration, which will give us 2 3s are 6, so 3x square minus 2 4s are 8, 4 e to the power 2x plus c2. Now if we will substitute here in this, okay, in this equation, okay, if you substitute x to be 0, what you will get? F prime 0 is equals to 6 into with 0 minus 8 e to the power 2 into with 0 plus c1, means we have to put x equals to 0. That will give us c1 is equals to 0. Similarly, if you substitute here, instead of in this fx equation, okay, if you substitute x to be 0, okay, then you will get f of 0 is equals to 3 into with 0 minus 4 e to the power 0 plus c1. F of 0 was minus 4, as here f prime 0 was minus 8, as substitute, as we have calculated the value, okay, from the ex component to be by 0 is equals to 0, and the potential at the origin is equals to 0. So here also c2 is equals to 0, so the constants are equals to 0. Then the value of fx is equals to what? 3x square minus 4 e to the power 2x. This is the function. Okay, means this c2 is equals to 0, c1 is also equals to 0. Since both of them are equals to 0, we will get the function fx is equals to 3x square minus 4 e to the power 2x. This is fx. So the correct option is option D. The next question we have that for a constant uniform electric field and magnetic field E equals to E naught and B equals to B naught, it is possible to choose a gauge. It is possible to choose a gauge means that the electric field and the magnetic field is constant, means it will not change for some value of the scalar potential phi and vector potential A. And we have to choose the value of the scalar and vector potential for which the electric field and magnetic field is not changed, it is same. So firstly, since this electric and magnetic field, these are what? Uniform. Okay, so for constant uniform vector field, suppose for A, the curl of A cross R is equals to 2A and the gradient of A dot R is equals to A. These are the two properties we will use. Now electric field is given E equals to E naught and B equals to B naught. Constant uniform field. Okay, these are constant uniform field. Now we will check one by one option. We know E is equals to minus del V, B is equals to del cross A. So in the first option, phi is equals to 0. So E equals to 9 minus del V will give us E equals to 0. This is actually not possible, right? Next we will see B is equals to del cross A. Okay, so B is equals to half into with, okay, half B naught cross R. This is the value of A. Here, sorry, in the first option, this is the value of A. You can see both for A and B option, the value of A is same. So finally, we will write B is equals to half del cross B naught cross R. Half is a constant, so it is outside. Now, we will use the first property that the curl of A cross R is equals to 2A. So here it will be what? 2B naught. Finally, you will have what? B equals to B naught. But here the electric field is equals to 0. So the option A is not correct. Now we will check the option 2. So in option 2, phi is equals to minus E naught dot R. So E is equals to minus del phi. So it is equals to what? Minus del of minus E naught dot R, because this is the value of phi. It will give us phi, because minus A is plus del of what? E naught dot R, which is ultimately equals to E naught. Okay. Now, since the value of the vector potential was same, so here we will get B equals to B naught, and the electric field E is equals to E naught, right? So the correct option is option B, and for the value of phi is equals to minus E naught dot R and the vector potential A equals to half B naught cross R, the electric and magnetic field will be constant, right? Okay, for this we can choose, for these values of phi and A, we can choose this gauge. Okay, so this is the correct option. Now let's come to the next question. Next question we have, a plane electromagnetic wave is propagating in a lossless dielectric, okay, and the electric field is given by this equation. Here C is the speed of light, E naught, A and K naught, these are the constant, and X cap and Z cap, these are unit vectors along X and Z axis. So we have to find the relative dielectric constant of the medium and the constant A. Here we are having 4 options, right? So for this, what we will do, firstly we will write the given electric field. So this is the given electric field here. Okay, now what we know, that the general form is what? E is equals to E naught e to the power K dot R minus omega t. This is the general form, and this given electric field I have written in this form for your better understanding. Now if we compare this equation 1 and this equation 2, what we will see here, the term which is with t, that is omega. Okay, so omega is equals to what? K naught C, and this term, okay, K naught X plus root 3 Z cap, this is what? This is K. Okay, how you have got this value? We have got this value because here we are having K dot R, means the dot product of the wave vector with the position vector. So R will be what? X cap plus Z cap. Then only we can get this value of K. So finally the wave vector K will be equals to K naught X cap plus root 3 Z cap. Now we will find the wave velocity V. V is equals to omega by magnitude of K or the modulus of K. So K naught C is the value of omega, and the magnitude of K will be equals to root over K naught square plus 3 K naught square. This will give us K naught C by 4 K naught square. That means 2 K naught. This K naught will cancel both this, and we will have V is equals to C by 2. So using this V, we can find the refractive index of any medium. Okay, N is equals to C by V. So it is C is equals to what? Twice V. So V and V will get cancel, and we will have refractive index of the medium is equals to how much? 2. Now what we will see, that the dielectric constant of the medium has the formula N is equals to root over epsilon R mu R. So for lossless dielectric medium, mu R is equals to 1. So finally N square will be equals to epsilon R, and here epsilon R is what we wanted to find, that is the dielectric constant. So N square is equals to what? 2 square. That means we are having here 4. Next we have to find the value of what? A. So K dot E is equals to 0. How it is possible? Because we know that the electromagnetic wave has a property that the wave vector, the electric field and the magnetic field, they are perpendicular to each other. And what we know? The dot product of what? Perpendicular components is always equals to what? 0. So K dot E is equals to 0. Now K is equals to K naught X cap plus root 3 Z cap. E is equals to E naught X cap plus A Z cap. Finally, this k naught e naught will be vanished, and we will have 1 plus a root 3 is equals to 0, which will give us a is equals to minus 1 by root 3. So this is the value of a here, and epsilon r was 4. So the correct option is option A. Now let's come to the next question. A static spherically symmetric charge distribution is given by rho is equals to a by r e to the power minus kr. Here a and k, these are positive constants. We have to see the electrostatic potential corresponding to this charge distribution varies with r as what? Means we have to see the proportionality of v with respect to r. So these are the four options. To us, rho is given as a by r e to the power minus kr. We know del square v is equals to minus rho by epsilon naught. So del square v will be what? 1 by r square d dr of r square dv dr. This is what we can write as del square v, which is equals to rho is equals to what? Minus a by r e to the power minus kr. Epsilon naught is as it is. Now what we will do? d dr of what? R square, this r square and this r will get cancelled, and this r will come to the right hand side, and we will have in the right hand side minus a by epsilon naught e to the power minus kr by dr, and this d dr of r square dv dr is as it is. Now again what we will do? We will see this term now, right? So on integrating both the sides, what we will have? R square dv dr is equals to minus a by epsilon naught is constant integration a to the power minus kr r dr. So when you see this left hand side will have no change, we will solve this integration. So integration by parts will give us what? This is the formula. Integration of u v dx is equals to u integration v dx minus d dx of v integration of v dx u. So here we will take the algebraic term r to be u and this exponential term to be v. So we will have r integration of e to the power minus kr dr minus integration of d dr of r integration of e to the power minus kr dr, and whole integration is again dr. Now what we will see? This term, okay, minus a by epsilon naught is as it is, r will be as it is, e to the power minus kr on integration will give us e to the power minus kr by minus k, minus this d dr of r is equals to 1, and double times integrating this because we are having twice integration, it will be e to the power minus k, again minus k square, minus k into with minus k will give us k square, right? So finally we will have this r square in the right hand side, dv dr is equals to what? Minus a by epsilon naught. If you will bring r square this side, you will, one r will cancel with this r, and we will have e to the power minus kr by minus rk, minus here it will be e to the power minus kr by r square kr, right? You can see here this r square on bringing to the right hand side to the denominator it will come, and numerator has 1 r, so it is getting cancelled. So we are having only 1 r in the first term in the denominator. Now finally again integrating both sides, we will have minus a by epsilon naught is constant and this complete integration. Now we will solve this and see. So what we are having? This term will be as it is, okay. We will focus on this term, and this term will give us what? Here 1 by r is taken as u and e to the power minus kr is taken as v. So 1 by k is constant. So u is outside, integration of e to the power minus kr will give us what? E to the power minus kr, this is r, okay, by minus k. Again minus integration d dr of what? 1 by r, it is equals to what? Minus 1 by r square it will be, right? And e to the power minus double integration, okay, integration of e to the power minus kr will give us what? Minus k. So here one minus was there, minus a will become plus, and finally this dr is as it is. Now again we will integrate this term. Okay, so what we will do? E to the power minus kr by k square r minus integration will be as it is, 1 by r square e to the power minus kr by k square, because 1 k was outside, it will come inside and we will have k square. If you see, we don't have to integrate here. If you say these two terms, this is negative and this is positive, and both the terms are same, so it will get cancelled, and we will have v is equals to minus a by epsilon naught e to the power minus kr by k square r. So v is proportional to what? E to the power minus kr by r. So the correct option is option B. The next question is, the magnetic field of TE11 mode of a rectangular waveguide of dimension a cross b as shown in this figure is given by hz is equals to h1 cos 0.3 pi x cos 4 pi 4.4 pi y, where x and y are in centimeter. So we have to find the dimension of the waveguide. These are the four options. We have to find A and B. Now This is the figure. So the general form is what? Hz is equals to cos kx x cos ky y. Now in the question we have this magnetic field. So if you compare this general form with this given part, you will see kx is equals to 0.3 pi, and we know kx is equals to n pi by a, and we are here to find of what? TE11. So here m is equals to 1 and n is also equals to 1. So finally what we will write? Kx is equals to n pi by a. This is what we know, and kx is 0.3 pi equals to n is equals to 1. So we will have pi by a. Similarly for ky we will have m pi by b. Ky is equals to 0.4 pi, right? Which is equals to pi by b since m is equals to 1. Now we will find the value of a and b from this equation. So what we will have? 0.3 is equals to 1 by a, right? And 0.4 is equals to what? 1 by b. So a is equals to 1 by 0.3, b is equals to 1 by 0.4. And finally we will have a is equals to 10 by 3 and b is equals to 10 by 4, which will give us a equals to 3.33 and b is equals to 2.5. So this is the dimension of the waveguide. A is equals to 2.5 centimeter and b is equals to 3.33 centimeter. It is very easy. Now let's come to the last question. The entire range of frequencies f for which the TE11 mode will propagate is what? What will be the entire range of frequencies for which the TE11 mode will propagate? First of all, we have to remember that for propagation, the incident frequency, okay, the frequency of the incident wave, it must be greater than that of the cutoff frequency. This is what we have to remember. So the cutoff frequency is equals to c by 2 root over m by a whole square plus n by b whole square. This is here. M is equals to 1, n is equals to also 1, and a was equals to how much? A was equals to 2.5 and b was equals to 3.33. This is what we have calculated in the previous question. So we will put the values here, and finally we will have c by 2 is equals to what? Root over, I have made it as 25 by 10, and then I have made it as 100 by 625, taking its square, plus this was what? This was 10 by 3, so it is becoming 10 by 3 whole square in the denominator, so it is giving me 9 by 100. You can calculate it and you will have c by 2 is equals to what? This will give the value 0.16 plus this will give the value 0.09. This I hope you can calculate. I will not give any stress to this basic calculation. And c is equals to 3 into 10 to the power 8 by 2. So finally you will have within this root over 0.25, and out of this root over you are having 3 into 10 to the power 8 by 2. So if you see here, you will see this 0.25 root over will give you 0.5, and this 3 into with 0.5 is what? 1.5 by 2 into 10 to the power 8, which is giving you 0.75 into 10 to the power 8. So f is equals to finally 7.5 into 10 to the power 9, which is 7.9 gigahertz. Okay, so this is the cutoff frequency. So our correct option is option D, that is that the for propagation, the frequency of incident wave, it must be what? Greater than 7.5 gigahertz. So the correct option is option D. So these questions are very simple. I would request you to please do this all questions on your own, because in much of the questions you have some calculations and all these things. So until and unless you do the calculations yourself, you will not be able to understand what is happening, because it is very essential for you to calculate it yourself. Only the thing is that the basic formula you need to understand and the concept that is applied. The calculation part I would request you to do it on your own. So that's all in this video. If you like my video, then subscribe. If you have any questions, queries, then you can comment me in the comment section. Also I have mentioned my email ID. You can mail me there also if you have having any questions. So that's all in this video. Thank you so much. Have a good day.